me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Yeah. 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 Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. I'll have scored.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we jump right into this new season with an AFC South matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic first down.
Go, go, go! Mike 29. Check. Spot.
Here's Foles. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Foles. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Oh, you got deep? Shit. Hey, 31. Put the boys down, he's coming. Motion.
And with the play clock running low, Bill O'Brien's going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Good set. 19. 44. Longer jump. 59. 44 is Mike. 44 is Mike. Check. Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Coming. Double up. Hey, alert. 26. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic.
On first down, it's Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
He's mine.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Foles. This one complete to Jordan Reed. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Carson, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On the jet sweep, this is Dotson, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down now, it's Carson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Here we go.
Now Foles. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, we got to snap it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Credit the sack to Corey Legent.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the 1st half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
They're running it. Hey, 31.
To throw is Watson. Got some real estate inside the 30. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
On 1st down, Beal. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Stop your whining. Watch twist, watch. 2 points down, he's coming. Go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. From the left hash, this from 39. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Carson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 39, Foles. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 27 yards there, a first down. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second. First points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down. It's Johnson, and this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's got Fuller. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Watson off play action. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 44 yards, and the Texans have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offense led by D.D. Westbrook trotting back onto the field. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He'll check that down to Carson. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And it's taken in at the 9. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
I'm going to hit you all day. What is that?
So we've reached halftime here on opening. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Johnson. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 44, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll run on first down. Beal. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Watson now to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Jenkins. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Let's go!
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw, and he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Jenkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch out. Give me that. Hey, 24.
Here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, That position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go, let's bring it.
Now Watson throwing again, able to get away. Now he's forced out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 38-yard line.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point. That's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Beal, powerful running. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and 12, Watson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jenkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Bill O'Brien, an offensive mind, and he's going to trust his offense here. They're going for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Watson, and they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Well, we looked at each other in surprise going for it on 4th down in the 4th quarter with a lead, but hey, you get it as a coach, you look like a genius.
So the next time we see Coach, he's going to say, well, that's why I coach and that's why you guys talk up there, right? He had the guts to go ahead and go for it, and it paid off.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jenkins. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now, the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. The 40. The 20. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Coaches always tell their players someone's got to make a big play, but what they mean is a game-altering play, a game-changing play, a turnover forced, and we just got that. I mean, how about that play, Brandon?
Yeah, a pick six, fourth quarter, that is a game changer.
Someone read their keys, and someone had the courage to go after the ball right then and there.
And it gives them the lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. Complete. It's Johnson. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Watson on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Big Sears right here.
On 4th down, Watson is going to fire one deep, middle of the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 74 yards. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Now Housh going to tack on the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, pass there, complete to Westbrook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Foles. Caught here by Conley. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point fourth-quarter lead. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on 2nd down. Foles. And this one complete to Reed. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 43.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Back to throw. It's brought in by Dodson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. They run it with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll look to throw.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. Going for it all. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Watson and the Texans now. Down 17-14, 24 seconds to go. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.